Today we have a couple old cell phones, and we already know that cell phones can be a really good source of free gold. So I tell you guys what, let's crack into these and find out. But you're going to have your little star bit screws, so we're going to need to take these screws off, and we'll start getting the plastic out of the way. Alright, so we got the screws out of the back there, and that's just how this guy would slide back and forth, I'm assuming. But you're already going to see some gold down in there. I don't know what that's a part of or what's happening, so we're just going to give this guy a little pull. And so there it came off the ribbon cable there, but we're going to have a few more screws. But you're already going to see some gold pins on those riders right there. That's right, these would make the contacts, and it would deliver the power from the battery to the faceplate. And this guy's going to have some goodies as well. Alright, so we cleaned up the slider and we got the gold contacts taken off of it. Unfortunately, some of this material is going to be magnetic, so in turn, I'm not going to want to deal with it, and it's just going to my shred steel for sure, but all that stuff adds up. But we haven't even made it through the screen yet, and I know this ribbon cable is going to have some ends, and those ends are definitely going to have some form of gold in them for sure. But we got a couple more screws. This guy has quite a few screws. Alright, so we got the screws loosened up. There was just a few of them, and let's see if we get this guy cracked open. Sometimes you gotta wedge stuff in there, but hey, there's already gonna be some gold on another board underneath of there. Look at that gold flashing. It's thin, and hey, people say it's not worth it, but I tell you what, it sure is worth it to me. And look underneath there, so there's gonna be a crazy mirror underneath there, and I know that's gonna be the back of the screen. I'm not sure why it's super reflective. I am not a technician, but hey, there's gonna be a speaker in there, and if you guys watch my other videos, then you guys have seen that those speakers can actually hold some pretty decent amount of gold. So we're going to get that guy out, and we're definitely going to look at him at the end of the video. But what's going on with this screen? I have no idea. It just must be that reflective. And if anybody knows any more about these screens, why don't you drop a comment down below and let me know, because as it stands right now, the only thing I do with these screens is I go and I peel off the bottom where the ribbon cable connects to it right there, and then I leave the rest alone. I don't muck with it. I don't know what to do with it. Some people say there's some value in it. I have yet to find any value in it for myself, but I know there can be value in it for anybody, depending on you know, what you're gonna do with it and how you're gonna take your time, because your time is worth your time. Nobody can tell you what your time is worth other than you, I guess, is what I'm trying to say. Alright, so we have the other part of the slider, and most people don't deal with these ribbon cables. They will literally just take the ends off of them, and they're not wrong. A majority of them will only have gold in the ends, but I tell you what, if you get in a bad habit of passing up these ribbon cables and just cutting the ends off, you're going to miss out on free gold. That's right, I'm telling you guys, you heard it here first from Scrooge. You will miss out on free gold if you get in a bad habit of just cutting the ends off of these ribbon cables. And everybody swears that the fact that they don't have gold running all the way through them. Well, you will find ones that do have a lot of gold running through it. In fact, if you look all the way down, that is a lot of free gold to be passing up. If you were to just take the ends, that would all be gone back into the landfill. And isn't that the point? Aren't we trying to keep all that stuff from the landfill? So this is going to go in my scrap steel bin. And we haven't even got into the main processing board, or whatever you guys want to call it, but I know you guys can see all the gold. You can see right down there. That's right. It's there, it exists, and it's free, and we're going to get into it. We're probably going to have to just basically just manhandle it a little bit. I don't know any other better way to get into this, because some of this stuff is just molded. We're just going to crack on into it and get in there and see what we can get our hands on, because there's no point in really caring any more. I just tend to try not to break a bunch of stuff off, because you never know where there's actually going to be gold hidden inside of these things for sure. It's everywhere. I know I say it a lot in all my videos, but it is literally everywhere, and you just walk by it and you don't even pass any kind of mind to it or anything like that. There's going to be gold flashing on there for sure. And that's going to be your little motor that would vibrate your phone whenever you get a phone call or a text message. And there's going to be some nice gold pins in there for sure. And there's going to be what looks like some grounding pins right here. Absolutely. And this is going to have a light gold flashing. Yeah, everybody says it's not worth it. But for me, it's absolutely worth it, because I keep all this stuff and I put it inside of my stock pot. If you guys haven't checked out those stock pot videos, go check them out. It's how I actually get the gold off of these boards. And if you go and you see these little guys here, you can usually grab the corner of them with your flush cutters or another pair of pliers, and you can usually pop these guys off at a pretty good clip. So we're gonna get these guys off of here and see what's underneath, because there's usually those very nice gold rim oscillators under there. So for all you guys that don't know, this is a BGA. It has a ball grid array underneath of it. It's a lot like these IC chips, but it's gonna have little balls underneath of it, and every one of those is gonna represent a gold bond wire that goes to the center of the die on the chip, and that is where all your hidden gold is, along with these IC style chips. And I know if you guys get in here, you can see the gold flashing on that material right there. If you get even closer, you can see it even better. That's right, that's gold flashing on a lot of that material. And these are going to be gold rim oscillators. You'll find them a lot in the cell phones, and I'm not sure exactly why, but I tell you what, we don't pass them up. Along with these chips right here, I'm assuming they'll run for the memory. But yeah, there's a lot of hidden gold that people just don't take into account. And another spot for hidden gold that people don't pay attention to is if you look underneath of these number pads. For sure they're going to be underneath of here, and if you peel them off gently, you'll usually take the sticker off of there, and there's going to be some more gold underneath of there. And I'm willing to bet my hat that there's going to be gold tracings underneath of this board as well. So I tell you guys what, if you want to know how to get this green solder mask off of these boards, then hit up my solder mask removal video, and it'll show you how in a really easy, quick step. For sure, absolutely. So this is one of the cell phones, and this was the back. And the camera right there, in fact, is going to have a nice little chip inside of it as well. We'll get into that towards the end of the video, but we still have some more gold inside of here. Like I was saying, when you were cracking open the plastic, you want to be careful, because you're going to have little gold fins and little connectors, and especially when these cell phones were designed to actually sit inside of a charger, you know, the ports would stick out of the bottom. So you guys are going to get those, and you're not going to want to pass them up, for sure, absolutely. And this speaker right here, I know everybody says no, but there is gold in speakers. I know cell phones are a wealth of material for free gold, so we're going to get all these pins out of this plastic and make sure we don't lose a single one of them. Alright, so we're going to crack this camera open. I've done a couple of them. I haven't done any on camera, and people ask to see what's inside of there. So basically, you're just going to try to peel away. Everyone is different, but just like all your other camcorders and stuff like that, they will have some gold bond wires inside of them for sure, but they're a little bit of a bugger to get into. But hey, this is part of the micro scrapping business right here. You just got to kind of get in there, and you figure out what tool is going to work best for you in your situation without trying to run it through with your knife there, because that's not a good time for anybody. So let's see if I maybe can be able to do this without the camera in the way. Alright, so we peeled the metal case off there, and it basically looks like it's just going to pop out of there. And right there, right off the bat, you're going to see some gold bond wires in the back of that. It actually looks like it's going to be attached to a ceramic chip, and it sure is. Look at that right there. Let's get you guys down in on this guy a little closer. So for all you guys that don't know, that is a ceramic chip, and it's a beautiful example. Every one of these guys is a gold lead that will lead into the center of this chip, and that has a lot of nice gold. This is akin to like your ceramic CPUs and your gold rim oscillators and things like that, but that is a super nice score, absolutely. So now there's going to be gold bond wires in the center of this guy as well, I will bet my hat. But I tell you what, for my bang for my buck, when I run it through my process, it's going to be better off if I just leave all of this whole, because when I put it through the fire and everything, this plastic will incinerate, and it'll leave the ceramic and the gold behind. And then upon closer inspection of that piece that wrapped around the camera, it too has some gold flashing on there. It just, this one phone keeps going and keeps giving and giving and giving. I mean, let's look at what we got from the one phone already. So we're gonna have a lot of gold flashing. We have that ceramic from the camera for sure, and even the buttons on the sides had little gold contacts inside of them. That's right, and that's gonna be gold inside of that speaker. You can see the copper poking through, but there's gold on the ends of it. And these are going to be the gold flashing boards that we're going to put in our stock pot as is, and there's some more of those ribbon cables. Everything is so nice. And if you get down on that switch there, here, we're going to go and we're going to lift it up. So I tell you what, there's not much in there. I was wondering if it was going to be connected with the electrical, but you can see the springs down inside there, and then a closer glance, there's nothing to be had inside here. So it's just a piece of plastic, and it's going over there. But we still have this board here, and this board is a really nice specimen of an old cell phone. phone board, you're going to have these dots here. I'm willing to bet my hat that there's going to be some gold underneath of this green solder mask, and you're going to have all the goodies we talked about earlier, along with all the stuff on the back as well. And that's just the one cell phone. And don't forget about the ribbon cable, you guys. If you guys get in that bad habit of not looking at your ribbon cable, you guys are going to miss out on more gold than what you think. And that's only one cell phone. Tell you guys what, do you want to see another cell phone? I think we should do another cell phone. This one turned out so good. Let's crack into this guy and see what we're going to do here. So here we have a flip phone, a Verizon old school flip phone. That's right, some of you guys don't even remember ever using one of these, but right off the bat, you're gonna see some gold. Why? Because they used to actually take these and you would have these sit in a charging port just like that. And they would sit there and you would be able to clip them on your belt and you felt really important. So right off the bat, you're gonna find some gold. And for you more adventurous type, again, there's gonna be some gold in these battery packs. I tend not to mess with them, especially inside of my small shop right here. If you've ever had one of these explode, you'll understand. But we will collect them up because I have quite a few of them, and we will do something with them outside of our shop. We don't do that inside of our shop because you're just asking for trouble, because those lithium batteries, although they don't seem like much, I've seen people accidentally snap their cell phone in half, it start on fire, and they think it's a good idea to actually go and put that sucker into water, because they think they're going to put the fire out, and it's turned into a very big event out in the middle of a field. Hey, it happens, I know, you know, but what are you going to do? You live and you learn. But we're going to get a couple more screws out of here. There's always tons and tons of screws all over this material, but you can already see some gold pins down in there by the screwdriver. Those were the gold pins that the battery attached to. So a rule of thumb for all you new guys, if it has gold contacts on one side and the contacts can be removed, chances are there's going to be gold contacts that correspond on the other end of the connection. It's a pretty good rule of thumb. It keeps you from throwing away a lot of gold, actually. So I don't know if those guys are really going to do a lot, and I know a lot of these cell phones you just pretty much just start whack-a-doing and breaking in half, and I know some people really love these phones. Some people really liked their flip phones. They swore by them, they loved them, but what are you gonna do? So right off the bat, that is not going to be gold. That's gonna be a little grounding pad right there. It's made out of brass or copper, but you're gonna have the speaker in there. But what is gold is gonna be in that antenna. So we're gonna take that antenna and we're gonna get that taken apart, but you are gonna have a couple brass studs in there right next to it. These guys right here, I do believe they're gonna be brass. There would be no other reason for them to be gold, like in the antenna where there was a connection. But let's look at this board. This is a busy board. Oh my goodness. Okay, well, here we are. It's falling apart right here in our hands. So right off the bat, you're going to see where that antenna connected. That's going to be gold plated. And you don't find a lot of that gold plating that nice. And you know what? The more I look at it, that may actually be gold. I still think that's a brass grounding pad of some sort. But hey, I could be wrong. Like I said, I am no technician when it comes to this stuff. All I know is what little bit I do know, and that's helped me find the gold so far. But yeah, so that's a really nice board, and we're going to explore more into that at the end of the video here. But what else? Well, this is actually a pretty simple one. You're again going to have some more of those brass studs inside of there, and there's not much more for that. And I don't know what we're going to do about this guy. What are we going to do about this screen? How are we going to get into there? Because I don't know. Is that how you do it? Is that how the kids do it nowadays? You just break it in half? Well, let's just put this flush down and see what happens, because I really don't want nothing happening. Especially when the wife is gone, because when the wife is gone and I hurt myself, she grounds me from hanging out with you guys. I swear it happens. So you guys just be careful. Make sure you have gloves and stuff on. Make sure you have a sturdy knife when you're doing this business and such. You know, you don't want a knife to break off in your hand while you're doing this. So this board is another busy board. There's a lot of copper. I'm actually looking at it through the viewfinder instead of in person, because that's just how it works when you guys are making videos for everybody. But that's actually a copper stud. That's a little different from your brass studs. You don't always find that. I don't know if it's going to be solid copper, but hey, we added up, and I tell you what, there may be another really nice camera inside of this guy for sure. So we're going to try to jimmy out this board right here. We're going to see what it all entails. Probably just gonna be a couple wires again. So there it is. You have a couple more of those copper studs right there, but again, we're gonna get that gold piece out of there. And I'm really interested in seeing what's with this camera, even after like the last one we've seen. And again, yep, it's gonna have a ceramic chip underneath there, and I bet my hat that these are just gonna be gold leads inside of this guy, for sure. I'm not gonna throw it away. I tell you what, we put all of our ribbon cables together because we've been coming across quite a few of them that actually have more than just copper in there, and I know everybody says that they're not worth it, but hey, everybody needs to figure out their value on their material. But there's some gold hidden underneath there. I'm not sure exactly. Is that another grounding pad? I have no idea, but we're gonna get this screen off of here. So what else do we have on the board? Well, you're going to have that connector, and you can see inside there is going to have some gold on both ends of it, but there's no point in really pulling it out because it's pretty attached to the board. And I know you're going to have this little, I guess it's supposed to be a little heat sink to cover up all them little capacitors right there. That's right, but there's another gold connector right there. If we get you guys down in there, for sure, there is more gold to be had all along the board. The closer you get to it, the better you can see it. It's there, it exists, and it's for free. That's right. And then you have this guy. I'm willing to bet my hat that that square that you're looking at right now, I'm willing to bet that that right all the way around here is going to be gold. But we're going to take this guy off. I think it comes off of here some way, shape, or form, or it may not. But you can see the gold underneath of there as well. And it may just be soldered onto the board. We're going to give her a little shimmy jimmy and see what we can do for you guys here, because I'd like to see what's going on underneath of there for sure. So there's going to be a connector underneath of there, and again, there are going to be gold leads or grounding pads, whatever you guys want to call them. They're there, they exist, and they are for free. Alright, so now we have the keypad, and like I said, for a majority, they just get underneath there with your thumb and they peel off. And if you peel them back, a lot of the times they're gonna have gold underneath there. That's right. I'm not sure exactly what's on the other side. Sometimes these are actually even plated in gold as well, but right now they don't look like they're plated in nothing. Maybe they're silver. Hey, you guys correct me if I'm wrong. I save up all the little pads and I throw them in a jar. But I tell you what, look at that. So that's another form of free gold. That's just beautiful chunk of free gold. I tell you what, any guy who's a micro scrapper that comes across this is just going to be tickled pink. I mean, and look at that connector right there. I was going to call it an alien. It's an antenna. Close enough. Hey, it's alien technology for everybody younger than me at this point in time, but that guy's gonna be a super nice plated item right there. And again, if you get down close enough, see those yellow guys right there? Those yellow guys are going to be ceramic chips, and that white guy right there is another ceramic style chip, and this guy has more stuff to be had. Again, there's going to be some more of your BGAs right there, and those BGAs will have their hidden gold, and there's going to be your spring-loaded pins. Why do I say they're spring-loaded? Because if you take and crank one of those guys off, you're going to find out. So be careful, because even the springs inside of them are plated. And that's right, I know you guys are seeing it right there. That is a gold plated speaker. I don't know why I've come across a few of them. Here's another one right here. This is a different type and a different variety, but hey, that's another type of a gold plated speaker. And I know people say that it doesn't add up, but if you collect up enough of them, it's just like anything else in this world, it sure will add up. And if you have enough time to hang out with me for a few minutes a day and check out these electronics, then you sure do have enough time to collect your own gold. So was it worth taking apart a couple completely random electronics we got for free? Well, absolutely. Let's do a quick rundown for everybody who skipped ahead. This board has some gold, it has some capacitors, and if you get down close enough, you're going to see all the free gold on there. That's right, for sure. It's there, it exists, and we find it every day for free. And this guy right here is another beautiful example of a plated material for gold, absolutely, and he's going to have really nice ceramic chips. If you guys get in there a little bit closer, there's going to be tons of gold to be had all over the board, and I'm willing to bet my hat that there's going to be gold underneath that solder mask for sure. And then we also have the ribbon connectors and stuff like that that I know for a fact are going to have some forms of gold, just like that COF right there, that chip on film. That guy's going to be rocking a little bit of gold inside of it for a fact. Not much, but it's going to be there. But I'm more interested in seeing what the yield on these little ceramic chips are going to be from all these different cameras. Again, they're each going to have a little gold bond wire that runs from the legs through the chip, everything else. But but I'm not sure exactly what the yield is on those guys, because I know a lot of people don't actually collect up this much of this type of particular material. But what else? So we got this guy right here. This guy was a winner for sure. Right off the bat, again, you're going to see your BGAs and everything else, and you're going to see your ceramic style chips with the gold band that wraps around that, and I just love them. You can't beat them, really, for a fact. You just can't. You just can't. And then the gold flashing is a nice bonus as well. It's thin, but it's there to exist, and we keep it. And again, you're going to find all these pins and all these little gold grounding pads and whatever else, and there's going to be gold inside that mini USB, micro USB, whatever name it was at the time, because they didn't have C charger styles. So anyways, and there's going to be a few more gold pins inside of there, and this guy still has more to give, because if you look down on here, that's right, we all learned today that there is gold in these ribbon cables. Not every one, but there is on some, and it's worth changing your habit in order to get some free gold. And that's right, you're going to see some gold plating all over these guys right here as well. And this guy is going to have some more gold plating. It has another BGA chip, and these speakers right here are going to have their gold as well. And all these buttons that came off of that other phone and the plastic that you would have just thrown away, hey, have gold contacts just the same. So for sure, the gold just does, it just adds up, and everybody doesn't understand, or everybody says, Scrooge, where do you find all your gold and everything else? And I try to tell them I find it from everyday electronics. So if you guys are learning anything new, or if you guys can teach me something, don't forget to hit that subscribe button. For all my returning viewers and for my subscribers, thanks a lot for hanging out with me again today. For my wife, I love you, and for my kids, go wash your face.